Welcome everyone to no-code workflows for CAD and 3D data, scaling AI-driven infrastructure. Today, we are joined by both Globema and AI Clearing as our presenters, and I'm looking forward to hosting them on this webinar alongside Dawn. Over to you, Dawn.
Yeah, so I'm really happy to be here this morning to share with you the work that our good partners at Globema and AI Clearing have done with FME. So this is quite an interesting one because what we're showing here today is going to be how they're using FME as a foundation upon which they build their application. So yes.
Thanks, Dawn. Yeah, absolutely. All right, so to kick us off here, I am excited to pass things over to our two guest speakers to introduce themselves. We have a pleasure of being joined today by both Adam and Carolina. I'll pass things over to Carolina to get us started.
Hi, hello. My name is Karolina Borkowska-Brożek, and I'm a FME product manager at Globema. Globema is a partner of Safe Software, and we are a reseller of FME in Poland and Ukraine and Romania.
And Adam.
Yes, sure. I'm Adam Wiśniewski. I'm a CTO co-founder of A Clearing and a very happy user for many years of FME. And I will be very happy to tell you guys the story, how it was instrumental for our growth.
Fantastic. And over to you, Don.
My name's Don Murray, and I'm the CEO of Safe Software, and I've been here since the dawn of Safe Software. And I'm really happy to be here with Carolina and Adam today as they share what they've been up to. So really, really great stuff you're going to see today.
Fantastic. Thank you, everyone. I will now go over a brief intro to our platform Livestream if you're newer to it. If you do have any audio or video issues, you can actually just click that help button on the bottom left. It has 4 simple steps that you can take. Share your emoji reactions with us during the webinar. We love to see how everyone's feeling or reacting to the content as we go along. You can use that button on the bottom middle. Questions. We do have time allocated at the end for questions live. So if you do have any questions, especially for Adam at AI Clearing as we go through his use case, which is the highlight of today's webinar that we'll be focusing on, please do drop those into the questions tab. Yeah, excited to take a look over those all together and have a bit of a discussion live at the end here. And our chat. Keep letting us know where you are tuning in from. We love to see that. At this point, I will prompt our presenters to turn off their webcams, and I'll hand things over to Dawn.
Okay, so thanks, Elizabeth. Yeah, so here's just a quick agenda, obviously a quick introduction, and then we're going to get right into AI Clearing and Globema sharing what they do and just the amazing impact that this has. Then I'll do some conclusion, and then Elizabeth will walk us through resources and next steps, and then we'll have time for QA. So the introduction. Yeah, today's webinar is all about showing you how with FME and other technology, you're able to achieve faster, smarter results. And today, we're going to see how AI Clearing has slashed processing time from 5 hours to 30 minutes by automating complex spatial data tasks. We're also going to see we're going to learn about their platform and how they use FME to remove the whole data challenges that otherwise they would have. Really great stuff. And yeah, so why does data integration matter more than ever? You're going to see this with AI Clearing. FME really takes the data challenge off the table. They're able to utilize all different types of data, no matter where it comes from or how it's stored. Data silos are broken down. They're just able to pull data from across organizations so the different teams and systems can see a unified view. And ultimately, organizations want to make data available to everybody in the organization. Anytime people have to make decisions without data, they're going to make, they're not always going to make the right decision, but they have to make decisions. They know that. and they will make the best decisions they can given the information that they have. So if you can give them more information, they're going to make better decisions. And that's really why data integration and FME is so key. And you're going to see how AI Clearing and Globema leverage that to really empower their solution. Common frustrations people have with data integration and infrastructure. There's just so many different types of formats out there. And to really get a good view of any sort of big project or anything, you're going to have to deal with structured and unstructured. You're going to have to deal with a variety of spatial systems, whether they're in databases or if they're in a wide variety of different legacy formats such as DWD, Shape, IFC, DGN, Revit, and more. And that's really the thing. When you go into a project, you're not even sure at the start what types of data you're going to have to deal with. And that can really slow things down. Of course, manual, you don't want to be doing things manually. Wherever you can automate, that's going to be really key. And again, you're going to see that today. And you're also going to see how they can integrate drone, CAD, 3D data, all sorts of things like that, and build workflows that scale across projects. Yeah, so we're going to see a lot of exciting things today. And so at the end of the day, you don't need to waste time and compromise on data accuracy. The whole point of FME is to automate things. You're going to see data validation. Again, that's a drum I'll never stop beating. You want to validate data as close to where it's collected as possible. And again, FME is a great tool for that. And of course, you want to be able to pull all this together fast. If there's one thing we can say about the world today, is that things are moving faster. And so you really want to be able to do everything fast. So here's the platform, the FME Enterprise Integration. We're the only all data NEAI platform. We want to give you choice, so you can pick the best system for the task you want to do. You can pick the AI for the task you want to do. Depending on the task you're doing, really dictates the AI that you want to use. And so our promise, our goal is that allow you to pick whatever AI or any systems you want, and we will bring it all together. Everything you do starts on Form. That's our no-code environment where you build all your workflows, where you identify the AI you want to use, where you identify all the systems you want to unify, and then you publish it to FME Flow. And FME Flow is where it comes alive across the enterprise, across the organization. So now everybody can make use of your data rather than just FME users. So in many cases, of course, data is moving and people don't even know FME's there. We code web apps, real-time data, automations, and the brand new thing is our AR apps and data virtualization. Yeah, so this is a really comprehensive platform. Of course, we have a SaaS version of FME Flow called FME Flow Hosted, which enables you just to quickly spin up an FME Flow instance and use it and not have to look after the infrastructure, whether that be physical or virtual in the cloud yourself. And FME Realize is the newest addition to the family, and that is all about AR, and it completes the mission to turn FME integration platform also into a spatial computing platform. We're not abandoning the integration platform, but now we're adding the capabilities of it to also be a spatial computing platform. Not every solution, of course, is going to use FME Realize, just as not every organization uses real-time or flow apps, but it's there. If you have infrastructure on the ground or things on the ground you want to see in context, check that out. We're really excited by this latest addition to the platform. And so there you go. More and more data types coming all the time. You even see the latest one we just added, which is graph. So Neo4j, and look forward to more and more things being added. If there's anything there that you need or you don't see there that you need, let us know. Maybe we already support it, or maybe it's coming. FME, like anything, is never finished. So with that, I'm really excited to pass this off to Globema and AI clearing.
Thank you. It's a very interesting introduction. Before we hear from AI Clearing about how they build truly impressive AI-powered solutions with FME, I'd like to briefly introduce who we are, who Globema is, and how we contribute to the early phase on AI Clearing journey. At Globema, we specialize in geospatial solutions, IT services, and data automation. We have been in the market for over 25 years, and we work with more than 800 customers from more than 50 countries. As a safe software partner, we focus on helping organizations adopt FME in a way that brings long-term value. Although we weren't directly involved in AI clearing projects execution, but we had the opportunity to support them in the early phase by helping them get the most out of the FME platform from the beginning. Our involvement focused on three main areas. First, we provided consulting to verify AI clearing's business needs and technical environment. This helped ensure that FME would be the right fit for the scale and type of data they were working with. Second, we delivered the FME platform. Of course, we provided the right licensing model and helped configure FME in a way that would support their fast-moving projects, both technically and commercially. And last but not least, we offered trainings and onboarding so their team could quickly become self-sufficient with FME. We also provided additional hours of support to help them fine-tune their first workspaces. Our goal was to enable them to build their own sustainable data automation processes using FME. And today you will see exactly how far they have taken it. And now I'm excited to pass it over to Adam Wiśniewski from AI Clearing, who will walk you through how their team turned raw data into high value insight using FME and AI. Thank you very much.
All right. Hello, everyone. As I mentioned, I'm a founder of AI Clearing. So I'm going to share with you a story how FME was absolutely instrumental for us. And I'm super happy to be here and super happy to meet Don. And we shared some notes beforehand. And so maybe won't do a standard case study because I will start with this. This is AI Clearing 5 years ago. This is in the deep COVID 2020. My kids are also at the table doing their remote schooling, and this is the essential team that we are meeting in my kitchen apartment. I know, this kind of big table, a lot of cables, some monitors, cardboard boxes, all the stuff you would see. And what you don't see is that the FME was being configured at the same time. So and the guy on the left hand is me, and the right hand is my co-founder Michael. And FME was actually with us from the very beginning, and it's still with us today. We grew. I'm going to talk about this, how we grew in the last 5 years. But from this very small bootstrap team, FME was one of the first startup programs that we signed up to, and it was very supportive from the very beginning. And I cannot really stress this enough. And it's just a standard workflow for us right now. I think this is super. This is our GIS team lead, Osha, and she's been with us also from the very beginning. At the time of this table picture, she was at home, but till today, she's the master of FME workflows and everything. And this is actually her quote from yesterday. We had it fresh off the press for you, but really, you cannot get any more positive than we are about the whole solution. AI Clearing, what we do, you probably didn't hear about us. We are based in Austin, Texas. We have around almost right now, 100 people spread across US, Europe, and Middle East. Our solution specializes, I'm going to talk about this, in progress tracking of large infrastructure, solar, roads, pipelines, big stuff. You see some logos. Some of them are US, some of them are global, but essentially we work only with the big companies. And from the very beginning, our challenge was we were designed to address a lot of data of our clients. What we try to address, and before doing that, I also worked at PwC, and earlier I spent almost a decade in construction field. So we kind of knew that there are a lot of challenges in this space. There are delays, and probably most of the projects, like even the road in your neighborhood, usually it's delayed or over budget or both. Most of the time it's both, and this is super challenging. And then you have claims and rework, and then again it comes because the execution of the project is all usually not really that good. And what has been happening for last several years stateside, and it's I think even more prominent right now, is that there are not enough people. For every engineers that leave construction business, there's only one junior joining. So every year there are less and less people to do more and more work because there's a huge demand for infrastructure, for solar, for data centers, for roads. And just the roads, when they're being maintained after 70 years, like most of the highways in US should be, are actually basically rebuilt in the same path. So a lot of work, yeah, not enough people. We are very proud that we've built our AI, and I'm gonna talk in a second, but essentially the process that we had in mind and with help of FME we're able to develop is that instead of sending traditional quality surveyor to the field who goes with a stick and a clipboard and measures some stuff and writes down, based on this you pay or you don't pay or you start some legal action. The challenge is that those guys, again, there are not a lot of them, they're expensive, and those sites are big. So usually what happens, like with the auditors, that they just sample test 5%, very high quality 5%, but again, only 5%. So imagine you have 30 miles of highway. There's no way those guys gonna go everywhere. So with our solution, you actually get this 100% coverage, yeah, and we are able to squeeze the time of this huge data processing. When you have 1 square kilometer, 1 square mile of highway construction, this is around 100 gigabytes of data from the drones plus any geospatial data, all of that. So to squeeze it and process it fast, so people have actionable data, was really the challenge from the get-go. So that's why and we are designed to build big stuff. So we are extremely happy that right now can do it in, here says 24 hours. For some industries like solar, we do it in 6 hours. So essentially, if you fly a drone at 4 p.m., you're gonna have a full report of your progress and every single solar panel accounted for, measured any discrepancy between the design and execution within at 10 p.m. It's really almost live data, especially when you consider the size and challenges those sites are facing. Now, our solution have a couple of components. At the core, it's a core. We have also several mobile apps. Some of them are for tracking. So instead of using Excel or clipboard, you can track it with your app. It gets uploaded. There's the AI that verifies it and checks. We have a Verify Pro, which is a tool for commissioning, again, acting with all the geospatial data. So we have a constant data flow between all of those tools. And also we have a Tech Track, which is a new addition where there's all the items on the side. They have QR codes or barcodes, and we can assign where this asset exactly is located, verified with a design. So lot of complex field data with the design schedules, all of that. So and very cool is that we work very closely with our clients on a daily basis to actually learn what they want, and we develop this very quickly. This is an example of kind of how the workflows goes. So you have a general contractor that works with us. You have asset owners who's using also our solution, gets reports. You have specialized subcontractors who is responsible for electrical or fencing or roads or what have you. And you get all this data verified. So depending who's hiring us, whether GC or asset owner, we get different reports, of course, but essentially make sure that people get paid for the stuff that was done in the right way. Yeah, so no one is overpaid, no one is underpaid, and everything gets settled properly. I think we talked about this. The reporting cycle goes a bit like this, that we have drone operations, data gets uploaded to the cloud, so it's very fast, and then the whole automated process, which FME is essential part of, goes on, and then we get all the analytics again. For solar, it's 6 hours, yeah, for 100 megawatts, 200 megawatt sites. So we are talking, I don't know, about 2.5 square miles with 2 centimeter accuracy. So this is very hard. to do, and usually takes many days, and we can just move very fast. What's interesting besides FME, what we do is that we actually have I think, the largest data set of images, construction sites images on the planet. If you want to build AI, and we can do a separate session on this, but essentially we have specialized AI for construction that we can detect any moment of the life cycle. Because if you're building a road, you need to be able to capture and understand what's happening on the day 1 and the day 400. If you have to build AI that chooses between cat and dog, it's easy. You usually look quite different, and it doesn't matter they're 1 year or 4 years old, it's still the same. Here you need to have to capture the whole life cycle, so we've been doing that. We invested 150,000 engineering hours over the last 5 years, and last year we started getting 100% accuracy, so we are not missing a thing. Interesting part that if we tested this against humans, usually accuracy of humans, when they know that they're being tested and they're being paid to have super high accuracy, is around 84%. Yeah, this is quite interesting to see. Also, our AI research is being quoted and used by Meta and quoted as state of the art. So we are quite proud of that, that even our small outfit can work with the biggest guys as well. I think there are a lot of things that our clients loved about it. And actually what you see here is takeaways from the calls that we with our clients, that we get constant feedback. But I think the nicest thing is that usually when we start implementations, our clients ask us, okay, can you integrate with the tool A, B, or C, or D? And can you digest this data and this data? And for that, we have FME, which is great. But actually all those integrations, it's very interesting to see that over the years they said, okay, can you push the data from your solution to solution B or A? And which is sure, but eventually what happens that we are pulling the data from the other solutions into ours because it's faster, we are more flexible, we develop functionalities way faster. Like last year we had 22 product releases, so essentially almost every 2 weeks there was new functionality release. Yeah, so new version of Excel, imagine every 2 weeks. Yeah, it would be, I will say, quite impressive to see. So, and those are kind of very cool things that we develop. I love this client experience that they go in, they don't need to spend, we actually track that, they don't need to spend many hours using the tool, or like with Excel pivot tables, they go in, they spend 5 minutes, they get the information they want, and they get out. Yeah. So I think this is super cool. And going back to FME, why we are here, is that for us, it's very important that we can be very flexible. We can accept all the data, all the different formats. We are dealing with the data, with the drone data, 2D, 3D, all the different stuff that our clients throw at us. We've been working on the largest projects on the planet, like really largest projects with the spend of $1 billion per week. And the amount of data was just staggering. And we are able to kind of, because we had those workflows tested from day zero, it was very powerful and still is, and stress tested. We love it, and we love the flexibility that our clients ask us, okay, can you digest designs version A or B or C? And we say, sure, doesn't matter. Everything you throw at us, we're going to normalize, and we're going to use an automated workflows. Yeah, we are VC funded, so for us efficiency is super important. To have full automation, we don't have 300 people somewhere in the world clicking our data sets, so we invest in heavily in automation, and these are the results we really love. Yeah, and this, you can see here part of the workflows that we have. Essentially, the workflow after data uploads is around internally like between 300 to 400 steps, depending on the type of the projects, KPI, clients requests, and all of that. But we love that we can actually incorporate the workflows with the FME, and it really shortens our processing, and everything runs in the cloud. And this, I cannot stress enough how happy we are with the solution, and it really delivers everything that we are looking for in a great quality and time. Yeah, because we are fighting against time, we want to be the best and deliver the very good data super fast. And I think I covered this, that within the process there are a lot of gates verifying if the data is in the right version, if something is mistaken, if the files are misshapen. So this is really powerful for us, and really appreciate it. And yes, in the past we had a lot of issues that this process has catched and allowed us to improve. But I would say right now we are in a very good spot regarding this. Yeah, I think this is it efficiently and quickly. And yeah, I'm very happy to take any questions, and I'm very happy to be here. Thank you.
Wow, amazing. Thank you so much, Adam, for sharing all that AI clearing does. Truly impressive. And also thank you, Carolina, for sharing us Globema. We're really excited that you are both partners of Safe Software. And yeah, I'm sure a lot of people are really impressed with what you shared today. So a bit of a conclusion. So you saw how AI clearing uses FME technology as a foundation, and then they build their solutions on top. And we're really excited with what they do. And we're really excited to continue to work for them and identify what we can add to FME to make their ability to go to sites even easier. So I'm sure we'll be talking to them about data virtualization and maybe even FME Realize on how they can embed both of those technologies or use those technologies. So yeah, really exciting to have worked with them. And thank you so much for sharing with us today. And a little bit about SAFE, for those who don't know, we're based in Canada. We've been doing data integration focused on the spatial side for over 30 years. We love what we do. We have 140 partners around the world. We sell into over 128 countries. And we have 25,000 organizations use us and a community of over 200,000 users. So I really encourage everybody today, if you haven't already, to join the community. And Elizabeth will share with us shortly where that is. Yeah, so that's about Safe Software. And now I'm going to pass it off to Elizabeth, who's going to walk us through some resources. Thank you, Elizabeth.
Thank you, Don. All right, and before I do get into resources next here, I also want to just take a moment to remind that we do have an extended Q&A session at the end of today's webinar in just a few minutes time. So just a final call, if you do have any questions whatsoever about the AI clearing use case, please don't hesitate to get that into the questions tab. We have Darius, a part of the AI clearing team, joining us today to help answer any questions, as well as Natalie and Evie on our Safe Software team. So looking forward to that. All right, so going through resources here today, here at SAFE, we are all about free resources. We have our FME Academy, which is home to free instructor-led training over at academy.safe.com. Our knowledge base is also home to lots of how-to articles and demos. Our webinars, to quote Don recently, our webinar page is a treasure trove or treasure chest of information. Check out our on-demand webinars at safe.com/webinars. You can search through them there. And then we also have upcoming webinars. We actually just added a couple more upcoming to the list, so feel free to check those out if you're interested. In terms of next steps here today, contact us. We would love to help you get started with anything data. The email is info@safe.com. And if you're newer to FME, the FME Accelerator course is a great place to get started. It's 90 minutes and completely free of charge. It's a great place to learn the basics of FME. If you are a member of our community, here is today's community badge code if you'd like to redeem those as a thank you for joining us today. I will also drop that in the chat. Great. And if you are not yet a member of our community, or if you have yet to hear more about it, we would encourage you to take a look. It's a great place to network with other users alike and FME experts. There's lots of forums in the community. Someone might have just asked the exact question that you have, or might be facing a similar challenge to you that they just got help solving using FME. All right, and with that, I will prompt our Q&A team to join me on the stage, and we can take a look through questions together. Yeah, excited to try out a bit of a different format here with more of an audience-led portion for the last 20 minutes. And it looks like we've gotten quite a handful of questions that have just come in, so excited to go through those together. Awesome. Yeah, and just to call out to our Q&A team, if there was any questions that we might want to start with highlighting, feel free to jump in and share.
Hi, so maybe on AI clearing sites, there was very interesting question about are we using raw photos from drone, or we use products, photogrammetry products like DTMs or orthomosaics. And in fact, we started with using only orthomosaics and DTMs. So that was our first approach. But later, we also started to training our AI models using also raw data, because sometimes they are not oblique, so sometimes you see perpendicular objects like piles better on raw photos. So to achieve this 100% accuracy, we have to use both data sources for AI training.
Fantastic. That's great. Okay. Any other questions there, Darius, on the AI clearing end that you might want to pull out?
Yeah, if the process is supervised by humans, and how many? What are the expected new features not already available? As I understand, it's for AI clearing. So the process is supervised by humans, but it's right now. It depends on the classes or types of objects we detect, because basically we can handle right now over 200 different classes, so types of objects like concrete, piles, pavement, curbstones, whatever. So for some of those classes, we are very well advanced, and we achieve 100% of the accuracy, and then we just check samples, like random samples, if there is no like a huge error. For the classes that we still training our AI, we spend a little more time, but basically our QA team is like 5 people, and it handles like hundreds of projects right now. So it's not that people are doing the work. The work is done by AI, and we have just a small team for the quality assurance.
Awesome.
Okay, a lot of questions. Yeah, so
yeah, thanks everyone for sharing questions here.
So I will just I will go through them in a second, but right now I see, can we create stockpile polygons from drone images? What format of the images are acceptable, and how the FME can differentiate between stockpiles and any other material stock? Yeah, so basically we are yes, from the drone photogrammetry you get also terrain model, so you can identify the stocks, and if we can differentiate by the way the stockpile looks, if it's like a sand or gravel, for example, this is something that we can differentiate. So we can detect this. We are using this AI image segmentation. So we assign each pixel of this orthomosaic to the class. So for example, it's a gravel. And then thanks to FME, we can export these polygons in any format you like. We can, export this as a, polygon, as a shape file, or some, I don't know, land XML or whatever, civil, some surfaces for Autodesk Civil and so on. So virtually we can export any, format, let's say that is industry standard on the market. Yeah, every format that FMS supports. Yeah.
Excellent.
Okay, so I don't know how to handle? Can we extract details from point clouds, scan and convert items to CAD format? Yes, so yes, we work on also on the point clouds, both from photogrammetry and LiDAR. And we classify objects on that data sources. Yeah, and then again converting them to the so we use internally spatial database. So we used Postgres with PostGIS extension. So we store the data in geospatial format, but then we can extract them or export them to any CAD format that FME handles.
Perfect.
Favorite FME transfer trick for cleaning up CAD data? And
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. So yeah, so yeah, it's really I mean it is let's say different industry by industry. So some of those CAD files, especially for the solar farms, are very good quality, yeah, because they are sometimes they call it's like building from IKEA blocks. So you have tracker system, you have piles, you have modules, and they are very well represented in CAD files. So for example, in this industry, you can import the DWG files without any, let's say, transformations almost. But there are some constructions like roads or whatever, and there are like open polygons, polylines that are crossing itself. So it's really like a lot of cleaning. I don't know if it's favorite trick. So usually those are like standard let's say functions or features like closing open polygons, or finding small gaps between polylines. So I would say that's nothing special. I think it's something that we all fight to transform some DWG file to really geospatial format. Okay, so how FME handle differences in data standards across global construction projects? So I will go to the bottom of the stack. Yes, so basically we use FME. We create workbenches for different situations, and it's let's say in most cases the standards differs more by industry than region. Yeah, so we create usually some import workflows for road project that is prepared in DWG, so in AutoCAD or Bentley. So basically we use like basic functions to handle it, and FME library is so vast and so powerful. So for us it's just a building blocks, and we have to discuss with our client to understand which, let's say, layer or AutoCAD layer consists of what, and then we just execute these transformations using FME.
Awesome.
Okay. Particular tricky data transformation that FME made possible in the project. This is a question like for job interview, yeah, like what is I don't have this in mind, but basically the let's say the most powerful for us, the biggest value is that we can really say to any of our customers that we can virtually consume any type of data they have. So this is like for us, that's the biggest advantage, that if customer asks us, if you will, consume or import the data in that format, then we can, say, yes, sure, we can import everything. So this is really like the biggest, advantage that we see, and we feel really safe. Also working, with and maybe that's the name of the safe software. We feel safe with this, data import export questions, because sometimes there are different needs for Middle East, different needs for in US, in Canada, but still we can fill all those requirements and tick the boxes. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, and
Right.
road lines. Hi, thanks for the presentation. Can you do the road lines extraction with the AI with drone images? I don't know what you mean by the drone lines. If those are like, those are like a section or linear section along the project, or cross sections with like every few kilometers or meters, yes, this is something that we can do. So we can have like perpendicular sections and along sections, because we have like that's thanks to the photogrammetry, we have a terrain model, and we can do this.
Awesome. Looks like just a handful left here.
100% accuracy. Yeah. Do you still yeah, so it's in real world, and do you still need to fine tune for local items materials? Is the solution based used to make a new GIS models and as-built revision data? Yes, so it's 100%, and this is mainly on the objects that are really but there is many of those objects on the site. So for example, you have a solar farm that is I don't know, 1 gigawatt or 500 megawatts, then you have like 1 million or 2 millions of solar panels. So then that's a very beautiful example for AI, because there is a lot of data to train on, and then a lot of data to analyze. So on those classes, on those millions of objects, we can have this accuracy of 100%. In real life, and then because we have those vast database of the different sites, we have to train this the AI on different soil. For example, soil looks different in US, in Australia, in Middle East. So we have to fine tune and really train these models on this, as you saw on the presentation, 15 million of objects. So we have like really 15 million of objects to train on, and that's why we have this 100% accuracy. We are not generating as-built documentation, but we are comparing what we detected to the design. So we mark like changes to the design. So every change is marked, and so we can go through those changes and just click through and say, okay, that was not according to the design. The other thing was not according to the design, and we can report it. And then later it could be used as a base for as-built documentation. But we are not generating as-built documentation right now. It's on our roadmap, probably for the next year. Okay. Okay, another nice, good question about a capability to handle large-scale building construction involving many levels, floor plates, interior fit-up of base scaling, electrical system, and so on. So the answer is no. We are not. We are focusing right now on just on the industrial outdoor use cases. There are some solutions to handle also indoor let's say, progress tracking, but we are not doing this. Photogrammetry also loses, accuracy. Its accuracy if the objects are big, I mean high. So in cases of like one-story building, before it is, or two stories building, before it is covered by roof, we can track, some piles, construction and stuff like this. But after it is covered, we are of course not able to do this. And for the really many floors building, we cannot use our AI and our use case because the photogrammetry accuracy is not good enough on that part of types of the construction. Okay.
It looks like we've gotten to most, just a couple outstanding. This is a good time to note that if we aren't able to get to your question live, we'll be sure to follow up by email as well. But yeah, Darius, was there any others that you wanted to pick out before we wrap up?
Okay, so the last two I see on the top. So it is, what transformers do you recommend for post-processing point clouds when it comes to tying it back to polyline and point data? Sorry, I don't think I can answer that. I will reach out to you after consulting with Małgorzata, our GIS expert. I don't have this right now in my mind.
Yeah, maybe that one. I'm not sure if Evie or Natalie have any advice to give on that one from our SAFE team. Not to put you on the spot, but we can always follow up too if not.
Yeah, we might want to follow up with that one. Just because there's a lot of transformers that you could use, and it really depends on your data, I think, in what you are looking for. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, perfect.
And the last question is about the road signs and photography photographed by mobile mapper and can be integrated with attributes. So yes, we do this. It's not for the road signs, but we do exactly the same case for the tracking. We have a module called virtual construction site, when you can scan or make a photo of the machinery on site, or transportation of the machinery, fuel delivery, and then we display those pictures geolocated in the right places, so we can have a history of the machine on site. We are not having these road signs and stuff like this because it's more for the maintenance of the roads, and we are more in this construction part, not the maintenance. So we are focusing right now on the purely on the construction.
Awesome.
The last question: 3D point cloud segmentation. No, we are not doing. I mean, we do some point cloud segmentation, but not directly. So, for example, we do this for the removing of the heavy machinery from the terrain models. So we identify objects on the orthomosaic, like diggers or other heavy machinery, and then we can operate on a point cloud to remove those points, and then generate the terrain below the machine for the proper earthworks calculation. But we are not working on a point clouds directly, and our AI works on images right now. So because we are in this image recognition segment, so we are doing image like AI identifications, object segmentation, and those those type of computer vision AI, and we are not using point clouds for that. And I think that was the last question.
Yeah, perfect. I agree. It looks like we've wrapped up all the questions. So with that in mind, I just want to extend a huge thank you to the AI Clearing team, Darius and Adam, especially for your time in preparing webinar content and joining us for questions here at the end. And Carolina over at Globema, thank you for your time in hosting this webinar with us. And Evie and Natalie and Dawn, thanks for your support as well. Hope you all have a great rest of your day, and thank you for your time in joining us. Bye for now, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks.